First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing this truth and sincerity by Shem Rokak Wadash. As you can see, this is a TikTok video, and the caption on the top, it says, "Mama proud, damsel was virgin." Okay? And this is a custom in the ancient world where basically a father and a mother would basically have to prove that their daughter was a virgin before they went and married her off. Okay, something that doesn't happen these days. These days, a woman doesn't have to prove she's a virgin. A woman could could very much, just do whatever she wants in this society, this society, parents don't care about their daughter's virginities, they're just happy that, as long as they don't get pregnant, in their household, okay? Some fathers are happy, but see, in the ancient world, talk about a family affair, it was an honor for a man to marry off his daughter to a righteous man, okay? And these are the ways of the East. These definitely are not the ways of a Western society, okay? Let's read some of these comments real quick. It says, Americans thinking this is barbaric, yet these cultures have a higher rate of successful marriages with low divorce rates. Western society has brainwashed women to hate men and believe that they are not needed in a woman's life. And that's very true. This is there was another one here that I was... This is Tom Verhegen. D. No, the blood means she was a virgin on her wedding night and that he broke her hymen. The blood on the sheet is then shown to the family. If there's no blood, the marriage is either undone or the woman is killed for bringing dishonor and shame on the family. Okay, and I'm going to get the scriptures on that because that's an ancient custom. Okay, let's read this one. This is Dominique Lee. The comments assuming that American culture is women having many babies with strange men and blah, blah, blah has me rolling. No, this is America where women can do what they want with their bodies without the pressure of family, culture, or guilt. It's not my place to judge someone else's culture. God knows I never would. So why some of you cultured people, parentheses, people think it is your place to deliver your judgment like it carries weight is beyond me. Live and let live. If someone isn't hurting you, mind yours. Side note, if my only value as a woman would be the purity between my legs, I think I'd rather off myself. And that's just my opinion. And that's bugged out, okay? That's bugged out, and that's how Americans think. This is a touchy subject, all right? But if anyone had any sense, it would be Tom Verhagen right here, okay? Because that was a custom that on the wedding night, a damsel, a young woman, a virgin, okay, would basically what sealed her wedding was her having sex. Sex is marriage, and basically her hymen would be broke, and that's what happens when women have sex for the first time. They bleed, okay, showing that they were virgins. And if a woman did not bleed, it would bring shame and dishonor to that woman and her and to her family, that damsel. Okay, but as you can see, man, American culture is just crazy. You see, people in this Western society have been brainwashed to think that you can do whatever you want with your body and whatnot, and there's no real consequences. But that's not the case. You can see how happy the family is. I give it a thumbs up. Hey, that girl's happy. Her family's happy. This, talk about family values. Talk about family being involved. You see, and this was honor. This was very honorable. To marry off your daughter to a righteous man and a virgin at that. Okay, and just imagine the connection these two would have. Most of us did not marry, okay, as virgins, and In this society, that brings a lot of issues in the relationship. When you speak about one another's pasts. You know what I mean? Like I said, Western culture, being married a virgin is something lame. You know what I mean? You just heard that. Well, you just read that one comment. Where the lady said that if her purity was was to be based upon what's between her legs and her, she would off herself or something to that effect. So she, that's just bugged outness. Okay. Let's get this. This is the book of Deuteronomy 22. It says 13. It says, if a man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasions of speech, okay, against her, and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. Okay, so if a man, takes a wife, and he basically goes in unto her, which means he has sex with her, and publicly shames her or puts an evil name upon her, starts cursing around, calling her all kinds of names, saying he hates her, and that she was not a virgin, she was not a maid. It says, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the token of the daughter's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. Okay, so basically, if a man took a woman, married her, and found out she wasn't a virgin, well, then her parents would take the tokens of her virginity, man. Okay, and what were the tokens of her virginity? Well, it was either the blanket, her dress, or the sheet or the blanket. Okay, they had blood on it, just like you seen in that video. That was the token of her virginity. You see how she was displaying it? The mother was displaying it for everyone to see. You see, look, she's saying, look, my daughter, she's a virgin. Okay, she it says, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. Okay, because the elders, the elders always judge matters. Okay, so the father and the mother would take the sheet with blood, or the dress with blood, or whatever the case, and they would take it to the elders if she was to be publicly accused of not being a virgin. Okay, and lo, it says 16, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. So the father would go and say, hey, I gave this my daughter to this man, and he hates her. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. Okay, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. Okay, so basically, the way that you solve the issue is that you would take the tokens of her virginity, the cloth, whether it be a sheet, in this case it was her dress. That's what it seemed to be, her dress. They would take it to the elders and say, hey, look, this guy's, he's basically saying that my daughter wasn't a maid, she wasn't a virgin, but yet look, here's the cloth to prove it. Well, here's the blood on the cloth to prove that she was. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. So they would show the elders straight up. You know what I'm saying? In boldness. There was no shame. There was no shame in the father's game, so to speak, right? Because you're calling this daughter out. You're calling her a hoochie, basically, man. A little hoe. It says, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him. See? Yeah. If you accuse somebody of something, you have to have a reason. Right? They would admonish him, man. They would correct him. It says, that's what that word chastise means. Salakia. It says, yeah, they probably whooped him. You know what I'm saying? he had to pay a fine. It says, and they shall amends him in 100 shekels of silver and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Okay, so basically they would correct him. They would probably, bring out the scriptures, bring out the law, bring out these verses on him and tell him, hey, look, man, you're going off. Probably got whipped, but he would have to pay 100 shekels of silver and give them to the father of the damsel, because he brought an evil name up against her, against the virgin of Israel. Okay, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Right? She'd become his wife, and he could never divorce her. It says, but check this out. It says, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, right? So if it was true what the man was saying, that she wasn't that the damsel wasn't a virgin, okay, it says, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die. You see, so if she wasn't a virgin, they would bring her right out in front of her father's house, right in the front door, and the men of the city shall stone her with stones until she died, because she hath wrought folly in Israel. You see, so there was no back then there was no Megan Thee Stallions, man. There was no Cardi B's. There was none of that ratchetness going on. It was young virgins. They would get married off. Just like in the video that we showed, and that was an honorable thing. Okay, and if she wasn't a virgin, she would get stoned, man, because she brought disgrace. That was profane. That was immoral. That was a death sentence, man. For a woman not to be virgin, to not be a virgin. Okay. Before she got married, they would put women to death for that. And you see how, and nowadays it's very rare, okay, for you to marry a woman who's still a virgin, okay. And that goes to prove too that marriageable age was way, it was, let's just say it wasn't, like of this times. People get married at 18 and up. They say you're adult at 18, but we know that, you're basically, at the age of 12, 13, you're basically an adult back then, because you could actually, you go into a puberty and you can actually have babies. It's not what the menstrual cycle is. Is that not the time when a young woman can birth children? You see, so yeah, things were very different in the ancient world. Okay, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel of the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. You see, that was evil for a young damsel, okay, to be found out to be a sleeping around, or that she wasn't a virgin. That back in the ancient world was a death sentence, man. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to bring that out, because I saw that, and I pulled out some of the comments. Let's play it again. It says, yeah, so this is still happening. Yeah, it's still happening. See, because in the East countries, they pretty much hold on to the ancient customs. They hold on to the ways of the East. Not like here in America, where it's pretty much just, do as thou wilt. You see. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, Lord willing, this was edifying. It's just something to the spirit that I thought, was interesting. It was like an image, if you will, on how things were in the ancient world. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to say Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Shalom.